Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Moonlight. I'm here with weeks 1 and 2 of the NFE Dope Draft League. Weeks 1 and 2, those videos were delayed until now. I haven't really had the time to record them, so they should be up at some point later after recording this. So I'm going to be looking at my week 1 and 2 matches. Versus the Baltimore Blissies and the New York Neubats or Neuverns. I think it's the New York Neubats. So Baltimore Blissies, the man, the myth, the Lambo Murphy, still undefeated in IDA. The man is disgusting. So his team consists of Servine, Magmar, Primplup, Natu, Abra. You see on the sheet it says Flaffy. He traded Elekid for Flaffy week 2, so at this point, when building the team, he had Elekid. He still has Scyther, Krokorok, Timber, and Swirlix. So the exact same team he has here. Just instead of, it's just that instead of the the Flaffy, he had Elekid. So my team, so we're going to start off with Kiss My Pecker, the Choice Scarfed Trumbeak. So Rock Blast, Bullet Seed, Drill Peck, U-Turn, Max Attack, Max Speed with the Jolly Nature. This was to outspeed stuff like, what was it? I think it was Servine. This was to outspeed Servine. This was to outspeed, what else did he have? I forget. Like a scarf, because he wasn't really going to run any sort of scarfers outside of possibly Scarfed Krokorok. I was thinking he might bring Scarfed Krokorok, because that's just really, really annoying for my team. So this was mainly to outspeed a potential Scarfed Krokorok. And then he has 0 switch-ins to Trumbeak. Had I brought Choice Banded Trumbeak, which I was originally planning on doing so, I would have absolutely devastated his team. But Trumbeak gives me a really great lead versus his team because it outspeeds more than half of his team. And if he leads with something like Scyther, if I can hit the Rock Blast, because of Skill Link, Rock Blast is a guaranteed OHKO versus almost every Scyther variant out there because it is 4 times super effective. Bullet Seed destroys Primplup, Rock Blast destroys Magmar, Drill Peck destroys Servine, and Bullet Seed destroys Krokorok. U-Turn is there for great stab. Only thing that walls this was Swirlix, which I didn't really see coming in the match. So next we have Inferno, the Quilava, Fire MZ, Flame Charge, Flamethrower, Extra Sensory, Hidden Power Grass, Timid, Max Speed, Max Special Attack, with Flash Fire. This was mainly for Magmar because I had 0 Magmar switch-ins on this team, so this was mainly to get like a Flash Fire up and just deal massive damage because Fire Z Fire Flamethrower does like 80%. I think like Fire Blast did significantly more. But I went with Flamethrower for the accuracy. And this is just good for his team. If I can set up a Flame Charge, I outspeed everything. And so, except for like Scarfed Scyther and Scarfed Servine. And then it just runs through his team with like one exception, that exception being Primplup. So my main goal with this was to just weaken Primplup so that way Quilava could potentially come in and sweep later. That or Quilava could work as a potential wall breaker if I get the boost from Magmar. Next we have Moto, the Hippopotas, Eviolite, Stealth Rock, Slack Off, Whirlwind, Earthquake. His team hates rocks, specifically the Magmar and the Scyther. So max HP, max defense, bold nature, impish, with 4 special defense. This is just to take physical hits. Stella, the Stunky, Eviolite Aftermath, running especially defensive, with Sludge Bomb, Play Rough, Pursuit, Defog. Defog because my team doesn't really appreciate hazards either in the forms of Quilava and Trumbeak. And then Pursuit to trap Natu, Sludge Bomb for Stab, and then Play Rough for I had Play Rough specifically for the Krokorok, but you're going to see in that match, things did not work out as well as I hoped because I misplayed hard, and the one turn I decided, you know what, let's go for Play Rough versus Krokorok. Things went bad. Next we have Mr. Mystic, the Kadabra, Focus Sash, Psychic, Energy Ball, Signal Beam, Shadow Ball. Signal Beam is there for one reason and one reason alone. Servine, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, and Psychic are all really obvious versus the rest of his team. Energy Ball obliterates Prinplup, and it does massive damage to Krokorok. There was one set that Krokorok was able to tank multiple Energy Ball, and go figure, that's the set he brings. But I didn't realize that. Max Special Attack, Max Speed Timid. With the exception of Speed Tying Scyther, I outspeed his entire team, except for Scarfers. So, this was like my main late game win con. Finally, we have Tangela. And 150 Special Defense, 106 Defense, Bold Nature, Max HP, Leech Seed, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Knockoff. So, that was the team. Now it's just a matter of... Yeah, so, he ends up bringing pretty much the exact team I was expecting, except instead of bringing Servine, he brings Forlix, which I can see, looking back at the matchup. So, let me make sure the music is off. So, alright, so I lead off with Trumbeak because it was my best overall lead. He leads off with Purple, and I just go for a Bullet Seed here. No, I go for U-Turn. 15%, bring in Hippopotas. So, he goes into Natu. I go for Earthquake. And here I switch out into Stunky. He goes for U-Turn. He brings out Krokorok. And I switch out into Hippopotas as he gets up his rocks. So, I go for Whirlwind here. Backfires because Natu is a bitch. So it brings in Tangela. I have to switch out into Stunky as he goes for Thunder Wave, which is annoying. And so I go for Defog here. Krokorok gets the Intimidate, but I get paralyzed. So I go back into Hippopotas. He goes for Knockoff, gets rid of the Eviolite, which is annoying. He goes back into Natu. I go for Slack Off to get my HP back. So he goes for U-Turn again. I went Rocks here, predicting his U-Turn. So I go back into Stunky. I don't remember why I went Stunky exactly. I think I went in for Defog, but he had Defog on his Prinplup, which I expected. And of course, he also has Hidden Power Ground. I go for Play Rough, get some decent damage, and he gets up his rocks. And I go for Sludge Bomb, hoping for a Poison, which I get, which is nice. So he goes into Krokorok here. I defog. And then the next couple turns is just him going for Stealth Rocks and me defogging. So I'm going to skip through that. Took me a while to realize that Defog has less PP than Rock, so I knew it was a losing battle after like a few turns. And so this turn, I went for Play Rough, because I knew that I wanted to weaken Krokorok, so that way in case he was like a Focus Sash set, then that way Kadabra was guaranteed to kill. But the one turn I go for Play Rough, of course, I get paralyzed. So he's able to get rocks up freely, and he goes for Earthquake, and Stunky goes down. I go into Tangela here. And so he goes into Natu. I went for Leech Seed, the obvious play. Bounces back, does nothing. So he goes for Psychic here. It doesn't do too much. I just go for Knockoff, get rid of its Eviolite. He goes for Thunder Wave. I get paralyzed first turn, of course. So I go for Sludge Bomb here, hoping for another Toxic. I got a big crit. So he goes into Magmar here, his Butthead, and I get paralyzed again, which once again is annoying. I go Hippopotas. He goes for Hidden Power. Even now, I still don't know what it was. I think it was like Hidden Power Ground, possibly. I think it was Hidden Power Ground. It's not 100% sure. So I just sack off Hippopotas here. It's useless at this point. Or was it like, it may have been Hidden Power Rock or something, I don't remember. He goes into Natu here. I just go for the Rock Blast, and I knock out Natu with Trumbeak. So he brings in Swirlix here. I go Tangela. And he goes for Thunderbolt, which is good prep on his end because he knew that Trumbeak was an issue. He goes for Wish. I go for Leech Seed just to get HP back. He goes into Magmar. I go for Knockoff, get rid of his Choice Specs. And he's back at full. So I go Quilava here, expecting like a Fire Blast. And that's exactly what happens. He goes Hidden Power Ground, and I go for Flame Charge. Didn't do as much as I wished it did, but that's fine because Magmar is naturally bulky. So I just go for Fire Z to do just to pretty much make this thing useless. And Quilava goes down. So I bring in Kadabra here, and I just go for the Shadow Ball, safest play. Weaken him again, and then I just go for Energy Ball here. And down goes Primplap. He brings in Krokorok. And I go for Energy Ball, and this man is max HP, max special defense, Eviolite, Krokorok, calm nature. And of course, it was a roll to 2-hit KO, but since I didn't get the roll the first time around, I could not get the roll the second time around. So, go figure, I lose Kadabra to a roll, and Krokorok gets it. So, I bring in Trumbeak here, because I have a free Rock Blast, so I just Rock Blast this thing to death. He goes Swirlix, I go Tangela. He goes Wish, I just go for a Sludge Bomb, I think. No, I go for Leech Seed. And so I can pretty much wall out this Scyther, but he goes for U-Turn. He goes Swirlix again. I get paralyzed. I went for Sludge Bomb. That would have been really nice to have not gotten paralyzed. So Leech Seed. He goes Magmar. This time I don't get paralyzed. I go for Sludge Bomb, get rid of the Magmar. He brings in Scyther. He goes for SD. I get paralyzed, went for the Sludge Bomb, which is annoying. I do tank the Aerial Ace. I go for Sludge Bomb. But I knew at this point the match was over, because Trumbeak does Revenge Kill with Rock Blast, but at this point the match is over because Swirlix eats Rock Blast for days. So he brings in Swirlix here. I go for the Rock Blast. It doesn't do it doesn't do squat. And so that is week 1. We do lose 1-0 to Lambo Murphy. So it's alright. So there goes that. Next versus the New York Noivats. He has Metang, Combuskin, Togetic, Seadra, Swadloon, Zora, Veeroth, Sliggoo, Gavlarola, and Spoink. So I bring Demolition the Girder. So I bring Guts with Eviolite, Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Knockoff, Max HP, Max Attack, Adamant Nature. I probably should have run Mach Punch on this thing, but Bulk Up was like my win con. Moto, again, same EV spread with Toxic instead of Whirlwind. I'm bringing Squishy, the Tentacool, Max HP, 64, Bold Nature Defense, and 192 Special Defense, with Toxic Spikes, Haze, Sludge Bomb, Scald. Mr. Mystic is back, same set with Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Psychic instead of what I had last week. I'm bringing Pixie the Cutie Fly Focus Sash with Sticky Webs, Moonblast, Bug Buzz, Defog, Max Special Attack, Max Speed, Timid Nature. And then we have Kiss My Pecker with Expert Belt, SD, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Drill Peck, same EV spread. So, he ends up bringing Vigoroth, Combuskin, Zorua, Sliggoo, Metang, and Togetic. So, let me switch sides. So, he leads off with Combuskin, I lead off with Cutie Fly. He goes for U-turn here, and that pretty much tells me that this is Zorua, because U-turn. And I just set up my Sticky Webs, he goes Metang. So I go Hippopotas here, and he misses the... No, he goes for Stealth Rocks. I could have gone for Bug Buzz there. He goes Vigoroth here, and I go for Rocks on my own. So he goes for Toxic, as I go for Toxic. So I go for Earthquake here to weaken it. As he goes for Roar, brings in Cutie Fly, and I just go from, I think it's like Moonblast, I think is what I go for. Yeah, I go for Moonblast here. Does really close to killing it with the crit. So Body Slam, Cutie Fly goes down, but Vigoroth goes down to Hippopotas. I bring in Tentacle, he brings in Metang. So I bring in Hippopotas here, as he goes for Zen Headbutt, and he misses, of course. Which is really upsetting for him. So he goes for Meteor Mash, doesn't do much. I go for Toxic, predicting like a Sliggoo or Togetic. So he goes Togetic this turn, and I go for Slack Off just to get some HP back. And so I go Tentacle here, as he goes for Tailwind, showing that he is a support set. Pretty much to me, and he goes for Psychic, and that shows that he is an offensive Togetic, as I go for Spikes. He goes for Psychic again, misses knocking me out. I go for Sludge Bomb, and he gets up his weakness policy, which is a clean set. He goes for Psychic, knocks out Squishy, but the Tailwind comes to an end, and Kadabra just comes in and Psychics. And he brings in Zorua here. It is Zorua, don't worry, but in the moment I thought it may have been Combuskin. So I just went for Dazzling Gleam here. It was a guaranteed 2-hit KO versus Combuskin. And even though, Speed Boost is allowed in this league, because Combuskin was at -1 because of Sticky Webs, he couldn't outspeed the next turn, which meant that Dazzling Gleam was a guaranteed OHKO, and he could not knock out Kadabra in any way, shape, or form. So Dazzling Gleam was the best play. It was a 2-hit KO versus Combuskin, and a guaranteed OHKO versus Zorua. So I go for the Dazzling Gleam here. It kills the Zorua. And so he goes Metang here, and I just go for Shadow Balls, because it has the possibility to knock him out. I do get the low roll, which is a little annoying. I got the lowest possible roll, so I won't be able to knock out Metang here. I bring it down really close, and he goes for Meteor Mash again. I did get 2 of the lowest rolls possible. It did, I think, 38 to 48%. And I got 2 of the lowest rolls at 39 and 40%. So Kadabra goes down, but Trumpbeat comes in pretty freely, and I just go for Bullet Seed and knock this thing out. So Metang goes down. Trumpbeat gets another kill. He brings in Sliggoo, and I go for Rock Blast here, but it misses, which is really upsetting, and he goes for Acid Armor. And it may not seem like it, but that Rock Blast miss did actually matter. Because as I do hit him, and I do get a crit here, and so paired with the damage from that initial Rock Blast, if it had hit before he got up the Acid Armor, he would have been in range to be knocked out by the poison. So Trumpbeat goes down, and he goes down to 23%. I bring in Hippopotas here, kind of thinking I can outspeed, but he was a max speed Sliggoo, so Hippopotas goes down, but at this point, Girder wins, because I bring in Girder here. I think I can outspeed, still can't, but I go for Drain Punch. There he brings in Combuskin, gets poisoned. What I should have done was bulk up, but it was fine. So I go for Drain Punch here. That does a lot of damage to him. And at this point, unless he is Aerial Ace, he cannot knock me out. But I knew that would, he had 4 move syndrome, and because he was Swords Dance, it really limited his options. So I didn't think he would be carrying the Aerial Ace just for Girder. So he does show that he didn't have it. He has Rock Slide, goes for that, and we pick up our victory, Week 2, 1-0. Girder getting the last 2 kills. So good battles to the men, Lambo and Infinity Diamond, coach of the New York Nuggets. So that was a good matches on their end. I hope to get IDA Week 7 up soon, although I probably won't be able to get it up tonight. So thanks for sticking around. I'll see you all next time. Peace.